Hey you, welcome back to some Minecraft. I'm on the desert island today. In the basement of that little, hole in the ground that I had made, I found, one of these caverns that go on and on and on. And I've been exploring in here a little bit during the last few days of my convalescence period. I've been ill for a couple of weeks, but you reach that point where you're feeling better. You're not really feeling better enough to get up and do anything, but your brain is starting to make you crazy because you've been laying here for days, and oh my God, well, that's where I've been for the last 3 days. So I have been in Minecraft a fair bit, in an hour, sleep an hour, in an hour, sleep an hour, that sort of thing. So this is the basement. There it is, of this little building that I had made, and I'm sure you guys must remember this place. Daylight, good. I'm over here to do some cropping, some harvesting, because things have changed a mite. Now, I was worried about the food supply. Oh, and there, you can see I put like a floating dock across the water. I figured an actual big, beautiful arched bridge with steps and pylons down and all the rest of it. If I were stranded on a desert island with my swimming ability, yeah, that's not gonna happen, right? But I figured, taking logs and tying them together and floating them across the water, I could do that. So that's what I ended up building. It was actually a lot simpler. It saved a lot of resources. I put solid blocks down the middle and then just slabs on either side. So it saved me a lot of work. And it seems more realistic. But look at the orchard. I was calling this place Orchard Island, and now it actually is. So I've done a lot of digging, an awful lot of digging. Actually, let me back up. What I did at first was farm skeletons for nights and nights and nights in here. I ran around farming skeletons. Got lots and lots and lots of bone meal. That was important to the plan. Then you can see by the grasses here, I planted lots and lots and lots of bone meal. And of course with the, is that not ready? There we go. With the mods we have in here, when you plant grasses, you get occasionally, you get seeds from all sorts of things, and occasionally you get saplings from other trees. So these pears are all from that one single pear tree that's off on the point on the main island. And, by planting and replanting, I managed to get myself a nice fair batch of pear trees. So they're in here now. I thought I saw another ready up here. Yep. The avocados, which do amazing. If you guys ever want food fast and furious, the avocados just produce like mad. They are absolutely, positively, other than wheat, this has got to be the best way to get food in this game. They're brilliant. So these were, I don't know what these were. They're pink and cute. So what else do you need to know, right? Anyway, I will check once I've harvested everything. Missing that one. There we go. These are coconuts. They are incredibly slow to ripen, even when I was here doing all that digging and being right nearby. So very, very slow. Avocado, not so slow. Bananas. They're kind of slow too, but oh man, not like the coconut. The coconut take forever. And this, I believe, were walnuts, and those are not ready. And I don't remember what these were, but I'm pretty certain that's not ready either. And over here it was nutmeg. Don't know what I'm going to do with nutmeg. Mix it with apples instead of cinnamon. Although I have cinnamon now. I haven't planted it yet, but I have a cinnamon sapling now, so I'm very excited about that. And then over here are plums. So I've got an actual full orchard now. It's called Orchard Island, and it is. So food is no longer an issue, with the vegetable garden on the main island and all of these over here. I've got enough food for like everybody. It's amazing. It's awesome. So I farmed skellies forever, and I continue to do that. Anytime I'm in here, it's night, I go hunting skeletons because bone meal became the single most important important item on this island. You know, for a nice quality of life. Bone meal was hands down it. So I planted grasses and I pulled up flowers and I pulled up the saplings, and then, you know, I planted the saplings, and then I took a fruit and grafted it to oak trees and what have you, and I ended up with an actual orchard. Now, you see the big the jungle trees. I have planted a few of them because they make for a lovely silhouette from the other side of the island when I'm looking across. It's really pretty. So that side over there, very formal, everything just in rows, da da da. And over here, I tidied up the pond that was there a little bit. You know, tidied up the whole island. Actually, I enlarged it. I would, you know, when I took down, excuse me, when I took down dirt from other places, oops, I enlarged the side of it here. I made it somewhat wider. Oh, banana. Every time I'm here with the bananas, I'm always thinking of that song Yellow Bird, that little Jamaican song. Yellow bird alone in banana tree, all the time. It's been in my head for weeks now as a result. More of these. Lovely, lovely. So I just picked up, what did I have? 5 pears, avocados, oh, pomegranates. They're awesome food. Bananas, apples, have lots and lots and lots of apples. They produce really well. And I like it, you know, when you've got that much fruit, I can just grab a stack like that, and then I'm, you know, it only takes up 1 block in my inventory, and I'm ready to eat no matter where I am. So now I have collected, you know, a number of seedlings along the way of other things. I've got a huge project going on the other island. I mean, big time. I've started the house. I have moved an entire mountain of sand. I mean, a lot of sand. Hours and hours of moving sand. And we will trot over, and I will give you a real quick glimpse of that. And then today, if I feel up to it, I am going to have to attempt to go to work. It's the first time in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I have to do something. But isn't that a great silhouette? It looks so pretty at night from the other island because it's lit up pretty good. Oh, speaking of lit up, before I show you anything, wah! Okay, I don't know if you guys know about F7. I just hit F7. See this? All those lovely little red X's. Those red X's tell you that the light is not bright enough to stop critters from spawning, mobs from spawning. So all of this, the bad guys can spawn in here. All of that space. See, it's only where the torches have lit up enough area. This part is safe. And I was sitting here thinking I had this all lit up enough that it wasn't going to be a big problem with mobs over here. And I kept having werewolves. Werewolves were really popular here for a while. And of course I was out every night trying to get skeletons for bone meal so that I could plant all of this stuff. And I kept getting killed a lot by werewolves. Whole bloody packs of werewolves. And this is why I didn't know about F7. I was just told this yesterday, and man, does it change some things. You go through every house and building you've ever built, checking it out by the old F7 test, and you're going, oh my god, you know. And I find it, as odd as it is that my underground places where I'm afraid, you know, of one thing or another, those are always lit up pretty good. When you're in your house and you think you're safe, yeah, those I don't do as well with. I had lots of places where critters could spawn, let me tell you. Wow, it was crazy. So I've started building here. The building is just a shell at this point, although it's a rather pretty shell, I think. So, you know, there's this little avenue up the middle here where I can run through at night if I need to. Although we're going to have to fix that up and do a proper road over to the island at some point. So there's the garden. There's the new house. Lots going on over here, and yeah, big projects. Oh, one of my big projects, cotton plants. These lovely, cotton has become my favorite crop ever because I have, I think, 18 of them planted here. Ooh, see that X? Bad guys. Um, but I have a pile planted over at the other house too. You can take the cotton, turn it into string. String gets turned into wool, and you can just see through the window over there where last time I was standing here. There was a zombie on a zombie horse in the living room waiting for me. That was fun. But you can just see the green woolen furniture that I've put in. So this has changed dramatically. I dropped this level of this entire area here, the peninsula. I took out, I don't know, like 3 or 4 layers of sand right across there, and there used to be a part of a mountain. Well, this area in the middle was a mountain taller than that of sand. I took all of that out, and the mountain kind of continued along to something I have built behind it there, and that part's gone too. Now what I've been doing with the sand is just dropping it. If you just click, it just slides down, of course, which is amazing. So I just stand here, go click, 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 and it comes all the way up to the top, and then I put one layer of dirt on the top of it because this area rains. This used to be all underwater. The water came right up to the edge here, if you guys remember from earlier recordings. So, I figured it was good enough for Boston. They've gone in there and filled out the whole bay and built a city on it. So it's going to be good enough for me to plant some trees over here. So I don't always have to do a full hike. Now, I'm not sure it's going to work because it is a different biome, and I found, of course, up here in this part of the garden I had planted trees. I've got water, they had light, it rains here in this particular section, which is why I planted in this particular section, but the fir trees still wouldn't grow. So I don't know if I'll be able to plant food over here, but I'm pretty certain I will be able to plant, a few oak trees or have a shady spot to hang out in sometimes when the sun is getting hot and harsh. You betcha. So this was mountain here. I took out all that sand. Like I said, I took out several layers of sand here, and this was back up, along in in different levels through here, but I cleaned up all that. Took out that mountain of sand. Digging, oh my god, digging is incredible. Digging so much. See, there's a little back porch with more cotton, so I just harvest it every time I'm nearby, and I'm getting all kinds of string, which has been, woven into all kinds of woolen blocks, so that's been fun. Oop, there's a werewolf up there. Okay, just popping in the house. Like I said, this is just a shell. It's still very much under construction. I'm thinking about a fire pit here, but yeah, I don't know. I think I've changed my mind about this whole design of this spot entirely. But there's my first wall. I was so excited, and of course it's green because what am I going to color it with? At the time, I didn't have lapis, although I do now. But I had none, and I don't want to use the flowers because I have to plant bone meal, and getting flowers back is very hit and miss. So I didn't want to use the red or the yellow from that. Green cactus though, lots of cactus. That was not a problem. So my furniture is green. So there's that little back courtyard thing that I have planted cotton in, so I can just harvest it at every possible moment. Here is a bit of a tower, and I'll go up there in a minute. I just tuck the bed in. There is a little back door. Now these sand piles are just here for me to, climb. And I've taken some out by accident doing some other things, but that was just so I could reach the top of the tower. Although there's other ways of doing that, so I'll show you around here in a minute. This goes outside to a lovely deck over the water. So when I finally learn how to build a ship, it will sit in there. And then you can walk along here. Now I wanted this very open so that I could run through from one side of the island to the other without having any kind of barrier there. But this is the bath. There was a pond here. I cleaned it up a little bit, made it prettier, checked the F7 thing, and found out that mobs could spawn everywhere. So put in lots and lots of torches. I've got the fence along the top in the hope that, it keeps things from the other side because there's still, some sand pretty high along the back wall here. So I'm hoping the fence keeps them from just dropping on my head, but We'll see how that works. I'm gonna have to go. I just realized what time it was. So at any rate, there's just some storage. I've been, look at this, because I have been doing some massive, massive amounts of digging. It has been insane, and I'll show you that in a minute. But you can go upstairs here, and we have this deck up here. That's just a little cover because it rains on this particular deck, just here. There's my lone pear tree on, I guess that's going to be called Pear Tree Point, because what else would I possibly call it? And here is the top. I'm thinking about building some sort of canopy up here, like a tent, to keep out the sun. There are stairs up to the top of the tower, which needs a roof that I haven't gotten to yet. Something's going to be built up here, obviously. Sand, scaffolding here. Ooh, look at it. You just never know. Just enough for a skeleton to spawn and take pot shots at me. No, I don't think so. So you can walk down here. This is that little canopy covering the opening. Creeper. Oh, I almost fell off the other side. That's not good. So this is my house so far. Ouch. Okay. And I have been digging a lot. I have actually dug so far in the basement that I've crossed the island and then had to turn and start going long ways across the island. And this is going to be, well, this isn't finished obviously, but isn't that pretty? When you're here for a while and all the dolphins and fish start spawning, it's really quite lovely. It's going to be a pretty spot. And this goes on. Oh my God, this goes on. Now, there was a lot of sandstone in this area because it's up, close under the sand, and I was just following the sandstone. So that room is a complete mess. And then here I started digging to get down to those good ores, like the diamonds and the lapis and whatever. And this takes me all the way across the island, right to the far side. And then this turn was having to actually, not be going out under the ocean. Now, this place in here, you can see the little drippies, lava. I've died here 3 times. Still not quite well. Getting better. At any rate, I have been busy digging mostly and killing skeletons mostly. The building went up really fast. I, had a week and a half laying in bed to think about it, so I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do with it. Wow, long way down. And then I have to clean up this part, make it a lot tidier, because I know it's just an underground mine, but being all mucked up like this drives me crazy. So that won't do it all. And there we are. So that's what I've been up to just in the last 3 days here, while I've still not had a voice. Couldn't really, record because I couldn't talk yet. So this is what I've been doing. So it's coming along nicely. It's looking good. I'm enjoying this. And I have just started sort of blocking in a couple of bits and bobs for a guest house over at Enderman. And now I have to leave and attempt to work today and hope that my voice doesn't give out partway through. So until I see you next time, thank you so much for being so patient. Thank you for the wonderful messages and the encouragement you've been giving me while I've been ill. And God knows I really do appreciate it. You guys have been, well, you're awesome. So until I see you next time, like, subscribe, favorite it, share, do all those wonderful things that you do to help me build this channel. And I'll see you soon. Live your life happy. Build it as beautiful as you can. Bye-bye.